There are 23 mythical Pokemon spread across all 9 regions, and today I'll be ranking all of them in a tier list fashion. Let's go! Mew, one of the coolest Pokemon in the whole franchise. This little floating cat is the big boss of all Pokemon. It can learn any move, turn into any Pokemon. It's really the ultimate being in this universe. And it was used to create the most powerful man-made Pokemon, Mewtwo. It also has a childish attitude to it, the way it floats around and messes about with other Pokemon. I dig it. I love the overpowered child gimmick in media. And on top of all, it's so iconic. Pokemon number 151, the last in the Kanto Dex, the creme de la creme, it's a straight S, no questions asked. Celebi, the voice of the forest. This fairy-esque Pokemon is kind of like a folklore classic. It appears in the woods as their guardian, healing people and taking care of the fauna, but not in a specific time or place. It's more like a Doctor Who Pokemon when I think of it. It just pops out here and then when help is needed, sensing anomalies. This tiny winged guardian has always been a favorite of mine as a kid. It had a great movie, great power. I absolutely love its interactive card on Pokemon TCG Pocket, and I'm so glad I packed it. For me, it's another S tier. Jirachi, the Wish Granter. This tiny genie without a bottle hibernates and is awake for 7 days, once 1,000 years. During its long hibernation, its body is developed in some sort of shell to keep it safe from outside danger. In that very brief time period it is awake, it grants wishes to people, and of course, for plot reasoning, those 7 days had to be while Ash was in his own journey, because the Pokemon movie paychecks are too good looking to say no to. But who am I to judge? I love this little wishmaker. It wears some sort of yellow star hat with a cape colored in the same way, completed off with science stripes hanging off each star tip, and it has some cute puppy eyes. This Pokemon should be more popular. Its lore is awesome. I'm giving this little fella an A. Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon, was created as a mutation of a space virus. Its design looks like strands of DNA tied together with orange and blue colors, offering us a visually pleasing contrast. Deoxys has a humanoid and alien-like appeal to it, which I kind of dig, and it also has different forms besides its normal one. The attack, defense, and speed forms. I didn't care for this one as a kid, but I can see why it's a pretty cool Pokemon. I can give it a B. Manaphy, the seafaring Pokemon. This mythical Pokemon has a unique ability. It can breed. That's not common for mythical Pokemon, and if you breed this little blue sphere with a Ditto, you'll get a Phione, our next entry, and the Pokemon who gets confused for this one and vice versa. Manaphy gives the vibes of Water Penguin to me because of the feet and flap arms. It looks decent, not my favorite, nothing too wow or too bad. It's a perfect candidate for C tier. Phione, the Sea Drifter Pokemon. It's part of the Sea Guardians duo, along with our aforementioned Manaphy. Its design is similar to that one, and again, nothing too wow or too bad. I think they deserve each other as a duo to be in C tier. Darkrai, the pitch black Pokemon, is such a badass. Its emo design makes it look menacing. The way it floats around and has its shoulder, whatever those are, moving like a shadow. The stare in the eyes, the white head connected to the body with the red color. Darkrai is the Freddy Krueger of the Pokemon world. It can inhabit dreams and can cause nightmares for people, which makes them afraid to sleep. This sounds like a bioweapon designed for war. You do not want to be on the bad side of one of these. This cloaked figure is impressive and memorable. It even played a big part in defeating Ash in the semifinals of the Sinnoh Championship. This just screams S tier. Like, how could it not? Shaymin, the Gratitude Pokemon, is just a small little hedgehog of nature. Its design is so cute and it loves spending its time surrounded by flowers. It even has another form, a sky one, in which it looks like a comic book hero with a tiny cape and all. How can you not love Shaymin? It even has a small petal in its fur. Like, come on, man. Easiest A tier of the list. Arceus, the Alpha Pokemon. Is there anything I need to say? This is literally God in the Pokemon universe. It's known as the original one, and with its 1,000 arms, it created the universe. The design is sick as well. It looks pure and important. The plain white palette with the golden arch at its stomach. It has a royalty aspect to it. It just has to get an S. Victini, the victory Pokemon. Narcissistic a bit, no? This small rabbit-like Pokemon is said to bring victory to every trainer who befriends it. Those big blue eyes make it look cute, and the cream pale with orange contrast looks very pleasing. I'll give this little guy a B. Keldeo, the promising unicorn deepfake. This little guy is the 4th member of the Swords of Justice. In true Pokemon fashion, it has a movie dedicated to it, and I cannot lie, the movie is not that great. You can get my full thoughts on it in this video, shameless plug over. The Pokemon acts very childish and impatient, not in the cute way Mew does with its mannerisms, but in an off-putting and annoying way, going against the words of his mentors and almost downright getting them killed. I like it when its resolute form activates and the plain but joyful design evolves into a more digestible variant. The colors float better and this horn look like it would actually be of use in battle. I'm a bit on the fence here, but given the fact that for some reason, unlike other entries around here, this guy is not that forgettable to me, and because he's part of a group called the Swords of Justice, like how cool does that sound? I will give it a B. Meloetta, the Melody Pokemon, is a musical Pokemon. Its music inspires art. It's really not the most intricate Pokemon in terms of lore. We went from the perfect Pokemon that possesses all in the abilities to a ballet composer. The design is also not appealing at all for me. The proportions are all off, its head is so massive in comparison to its body. It feels like I'm watching Angelo Rules. I'm sending this to the F tier. Genesect, the Paleozoic Pokemon. This little robotic fella is Mewtwo V2, but this guy, instead of being manufactured by Team Rocket, was the creation of Team Plasma, the Team Rocket ripoff from Unova. They genetically enhanced some type of fossil in order Zeraora to create a Pokemon that has the power to switch its typings based on the type of drive it holds. It can be either normal, which is default, electric, fire, ice or water. Some good variety, I'll give them that. This is like the not shit version of cat form. I love its cybernetic aspect, the lore behind it, even though it's a bit regurgitated from the Mewtwo one, but the thing that wins it for me is how deadly it looks in the night with its eyes glowing red. It looks like a machine designed to kill. And it transforms into a disc when in flight mode. This is really fun. I'll give Genesect an A. Diancie, the Jewel Pokemon, originates from a rare mutation of a carbink. It possesses immense power which allows it to compress carbon in the air to create diamonds instantly, hence its choice of appearance. This is literally an infinite money glitch. It looks interesting, but I just cannot get out of my mind the fact that it looks like a mashup of Skylanders. Diancie is also not the most memorable. I don't fuck with the Gen 6 Mythicals that much. C tier. Hoopa, the Mischief Pokemon. In its confined form it looks pretty shite, I'm not gonna lie. Sonic the Hedgehog forgot its strings, bro. But then we have its unbound form, which, oh my god, looks brilliant. The grotesque and unhinged aspect of it makes it seem like some sort of mythical ancient being. The 5 floating arms, the long tail, the somewhat genie in a bottle vibes with its shoes and attire. The contrast between the bright purple and the light skin blue pairs appropriately as well. According to a legend, this unbound form once wreaked havoc by using its strings to steal entire castles and treasures. We're going medieval with these fuckers. But then its immense power was sealed away in a bottle, hence the genie look. I'm giving this one an A. I'm really digging it. Volcanion, the steam Pokemon, is okay. Not much I can comment on, it's very mediocre. The coolest thing about it has to be its organ that allows it to vaporize water. Bro's a fog machine basically. I do remember his EX card coming in clutch for me a few times in the old days when I used to play Pokemon TCG, but that's about it. A very deserved D tier. Majerna, the artificial Pokemon. That's a good name for it because it's artificial as you can get. The passion is artificial, the design, the care, the way it makes you feel. It just looks boring. It feels like it was there just to occupy a spot on the list. I could dig the expression on its face if it wasn't, say it with me, artificial. This Pokemon was created as a gift to the king's daughter centuries ago. It's cool that because of its soul heart, the thing that makes it operate, made by collecting life energy from other Pokemon. That's a fancy way of saying murder, but okay. It allows her to sense other people's pain and can save injured Pokemon. Being so emotionally intelligent, it can sense the emotions, feelings, and even thoughts of other Pokemon. This lore makes me a bit more fun of it, but I can't give it more than a C. Marshadow, the Gloom Dweller Pokemon. Okay, I didn't know that's his name. I was excited to go in and say how much I love this little guy, but Gloom Dweller? Really? Fucking Discord mod type of name? Okay. We had Majerna, the last entry, but this is a great example of how just a plain color palette can make it look better. Its design is simple, but it works. The multiple shades of grey with a stale, expressionless face, complete with two bright orange and yellow eyes. I love the trail its feet leave behind. When this guy gets angered, its fighting spirit causes its little helmet to brighten up with this beautiful sign in yellow. I absolutely love this. He even had a movie appearance, which I'm so glad about, given the fact that Alolan Ash had no movies of his own. It appeared in the I Choose You movie. Very underrated if you ask me. There he played the role of an observer, stalking Ash and his friends through the shadows as they progress through their journey. The design is peak, and I remember when the Burning Shadow packs appeared on TCGO, it was a beautiful and different time. The Shadow guy deserves all the praise. I'm giving this an S. Zeraora, the Thunderclap Pokemon. Okay, that's a funny name, I'll give them that. We have another cool Alolan Mythic that Alolan Ash does not interact with, but fear not, because we get it in Power of Us, the sequel to I Choose You, and one of my favorite Pokemon movies. They really cared about this trilogy and gave it a couple of bangers for real. This movie is my favorite in the trilogy, and Zeraora is a beautifully designed electric Pokemon. Its fur is all sparkled up to show its power of electricity, also held by its fur being bright yellow. The humanoid feline way they approach this works really well as well. Zeraora was born in an awesome way, from an explosion caused by a lightning bolt hitting a volcano whilst it was erupting. Like, how cool is that? I'm giving an A to this electric furball. It deserves it. Nata, the Hexnut Pokemon. His name is just the average nickname you'll find in a DBD lobby. This Pokemon is fascinating because it made its debut in Pokemon Go. It had this tiny event and short on YouTube dedicated to it. I like it when the Go fam gets something made for them. You know, bits and pieces thrown so they don't starve to death. It's cute. I like the gloss texture it has on it. I can give it a B. Melmetal, the evolution of the Hexnut Pokemon. I did not expect its evolution to be this bulky. I like it, but the problem is the massive screws it has for hands. Every time I see it, I just imagine that clip of Buff Richard carrying tires. Like, I cannot, man. I'll give it a B as well, because it's funny. Zerud, the jungle healing monkey. Even though the design is not the most complex, the movie Secrets of the Jungle, which marks the finale of Ash's alternate timeline trilogy, makes me love this Pokemon so much. They give it a ton of lore, as the movie had its primary focus on the way they work as a tribe and how they're doing their best to keep the Tree of Life hidden within the depths of the forest. Their abilities consist of using the vines strapped around their wrist as some sort of combat and mobility gadgets. They can withdraw energy from life around, and they can heal the wounds of others. But only the most special Zerud possess that abilities. The Zerud have rules, principles, motives, inspirations, and even speak like humans. You see me off? You're not unique anymore. Ash felt like a side character in that movie, but it was done well. He didn't feel like an extra man just for the sake of Ash being in the movie. I love when the anime gives us such in-depth looks at the Pokemon's culture and way of life, and the Zerud are a blessing for the Pokemon universe. I'm giving this Pokemon an A. The only reason it's not an S is the design. They could have maybe gone out a bit more with it, in my opinion. Pekarunt, the subjugation Pokemon. This little fella is supposed to resemble a piece of mochi. It looks alright, it has yet to make an appearance in the anime, but going off the design, it looks okay. I think the purple-pink color palette is overpowering the look a bit too much, so I'll give it a C. Today I've learned that mythical Pokemon are cooler than I remembered. I genuinely struggle to give low scores because most of them just play their parts suitably and have amazing backstories and beautiful performances thanks to having whole ass movies dedicated to them. This is one aspect I love about the franchise. They dedicate whole movies to important Pokemon, and if you want to just watch the anime, it's all okay to skip them. They don't have lasting consequences on our hero's journey, but they serve as fun side adventures. I also think it's funny how they just refused to give Alola and Ash any full-length movies. Like, yeah, fuck them, we want an alternate timeline, which I'm forever grateful for, by the way. Mythical Pokemon are really close to legendaries for me after today. Show some love to these little guys if you can, and let me know in the comments below how you feel about my rankings and what you would have done differently. I'd love to hear that from y'all, and also maybe leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. It only takes you 2 seconds, yet it helps me out massively. And until next time, have a great day guys, stay safe, bye.